Drilling with Tony the Tiger Lopez. We have what was I supposed to talk about again?
Sponsors,
Oh yeah, our
our
sponsors
sponsors.
is Eddie Garnica, attorney Eddie Garnica. Now, our attorney Eddie Garnica works out throughout the state of California with immigration and or criminal. That's his main thing. That's what he does, and that's what he's good at. He's at 5001 Franklin Boulevard here in Sacramento. His number is 916-617-0507. Good guy. If you have any immigration problems and or criminal problems, contact Eddie Garnica. We also have Tony the Tiger Plumbing. Hey, that's me, Tony T, and the place to be. Kidding. If you have any plumbing problems, I do repair and replace anywhere in Sacramento and or 20-minute surroundings areas. I'll come to you. I'll tell you what. You won't get it. You won't get it any cheaper than anybody that's going to do it right. My number is 916-589-0455. That's it for that. And here's what I have. Okay, I walked in here today. I'm going to go right to it. I walked in here today because I was kind of I was hurt. I was upset. Not really, but so I
You're gonna
walked.
put us on blast.
Yeah, I am. I walk in here today, and I say, "Hey guys, what's today?" They're going, "I don't know. I don't know." So I'm here like about. There's three guys here, and I'm asking for like about what 10 minutes.
At least.
Okay, let's say 10 minutes, maybe 15 or 20. But I'm asking. I'm not giving them any hints. I'll ask you. Do you guys know what today is? I'm waiting. If you know what today is, type it in. Let us know.
I know.
No, not you. You do now because I told you because you guys couldn't guess. Nobody could guess what today was. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna move on from that subject. I'm gonna if you
No,
no
we
no
gotta talk.
no
You brought it up.
no
We're gonna
wait
finish
because I'm gonna give people time to see if they know what today is. Well, okay, you'll never guess.
Leave it in the comments if you know what today is. Today, I Googled it. I thought it was.
National Ice Cream Day.
I thought it was all kind of stuff. Martin Luther King's birthday, which I should have known that. I looked up Cesar Chavez's day. I couldn't understand what he was talking about. And this month is so many birthdays. So I was thinking about people's birthdays, Tone. So you were like, it ain't a birthday. So then you threw me off. And of course, I answered the question without you telling me. You didn't have to.
No, wait. No, you
You
didn't.
didn't.
I did.
You had no. After I told you,
No, I was in the room.
I told-
and I said, "Oh yeah, it's your."
they're lying. Watch this.
What's today,
You guys,
Tony?
you guys, straight,
Because look,
you guys just straight lying.
But you came out and you told me you didn't even remember what today was. Someone had to tell you what today. It was probably Kathy, huh?
No, she forgot too. She didn't know.
Who was it? Who told you?
I forgot who told me.
So you didn't even know today is the day his 30-year anniversary,
34th.
34th anniversary when he won his first title from Rocky Rockridge. So because I was at the fight, me and my brother was at the fight, we seen the fight. And it was so long ago, and I watched this fight like at least twice a year. Every year I go back and watch this fight because it was like a pivotal moment in Sacramento history. Like you was the first champ, and he came over here thinking he is a tune-up fight, and you took his title.
Yeah.
So it was like a pivotal moment in Sacramento history, and we got to mark that on the counter because I'm not going to fall into that question ever again.
You know,
ask me that.
You're right. You know, honestly, watch this. We never talked about that, but you know what? He did, and they thought they watched my films and they thought, oh, because I was a tune-up fight for a bigger fight for him.
Yeah.
I don't know what bigger fight whether it was going to be, maybe another champion. I don't know, but he was gonna. I was a tune-up.
Yeah.
And then they saw some videos and they go, yeah, we can beat him.
Yeah.
No, you ain't. You know, and so that's
And
how
he agreed to come here to fight you.
Yeah.
And he was the champion.
Yeah. And then he agreed to let me come out first.
Yeah.
No. I came out second. I'm sorry. Because the champion always comes out second. So he let me come out second. You know, the challenger always comes out first.
Hey, what do you think? Okay, so I'm putting myself in his shoes. I'm the champion, and I come over there for a tune-up fight, and I get my belt took on the tune. What do you think? Do you think that crushed him?
Well, yeah.
His ego, everything.
You know what?
Soul.
You know what? He had it was kind of a sad ending to his life.
Yeah.
But that was the start of it. I mean, I assume, I don't know, but I assume that his life was boxing. and
Yeah.
that's what he did, and that's what he knew, and that's what he always wanted to do. But at some point, all fighters need to retire. You're good to a certain point. You can never beat father time or mother time, whatever you want to call it. But you're never going to beat it. When it's your time, it's your time. There's nothing that you or anybody else can do about it. You just like even my last fight, the fight before my last second to my last fight, I went and I was old. I was 30, 30. No, I was 30. And I remember 29 when I fought Lockridge and everybody's saying how old he was. He was 29
Mhm.
at 130 pounds. That is old. And so I went till I was 30. 30. I was 30 years old. I think I was
I
like
think he
30.
was
No, no,
33.
no, no. I was like 30. No, I'm sorry. I was 35 years old.
Yeah,
And,
your
and
last fight, right?
yeah, and I was getting my last fight. A week later, I would have been 36. I was a week away from my 36th birthday. So I was really old for that weight division. And so, at that age, as a fighter, you stay away from the young, crazy kids because those crazy kids were me when I was 25 fighting lockers. I would do anything, stay there, nothing hurt, nothing bothered me, and you don't know when to quit because you're young and
Yeah.
you see a future. And so as an old fighter, you stay away from fighters like that. Well, because I was old and I had a good name back then, in the boxing world, it was like, I was the guy to beat to get out there to get you onto the next level.
Yeah.
And so they put me in there with a kid who was, I don't remember what he was. I'm going to guess. He was 20 something and 0, 17, 18 knockouts. And, and they had him favored. I think he was a 3 or 4 to 1 favorite over me at the time. And I was a champion. And then, I did one time. My last days of training were for that second. This is my second to the last fight, and then I was in Lake Tahoe, and I was training in Lake Tahoe. We fought in Lake Tahoe, and I forgot the guy's name. Young kid, strong, powerful, a lot of knockouts, and he comes out. Well, my last day of sparring of training, and so I'm just hitting the bag. I'm breaking a sweat. That's all I got to do. Just break a sweat. I'm good. So I'm training, hitting the bag, goofing out, jump roping a little bit, talking a lot of smack, just having fun. And I'm getting ready to leave. And everybody's kind of gone already. There was because it's packed when you're
Mhm.
training, but you start lightening up and people start leaving. And I stay an extra 20, 30 minutes before I actually get up and walk out of the building. So at that time, I think there was 3 guys sitting or maybe 4 guys sitting in the seats on like a third row up because we were at Caesars when it was Caesars back in the day, Lake
Yeah.
Tahoe's, and
Mhm.
so uh, we're in their room, their big showroom, and there's 3 or 4 guys sitting right there, and they watched me intently, really, really watched me, and I noticed that they were really, really watching me, and I had no idea who they were. And they were older guys, and I had no idea who they were, and so they wouldn't smile, they didn't have a dirty look, they didn't do nothing, they just watched, and I'm going, those are the odd makers. I bet you those are the odd makers. And so I'm getting ready to leave. Me being me, I'm getting ready to leave, right? And then and they're like the third or fourth row up, and I'm leaving. And little Tony, my assistant coach, is behind me, uh, and I'm walking up the stairs. I pass by even with their row. I looked at them and I go, "Hey, you guys, the odd makers?" Never said a word. They just did this.
They
That's
didn't
all
say
they
nothing to
did.
you?
No, then I think it was 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, whatever it was. And I go 3 to 1. Really? I go, you guys fucked up. And I just turned around, and walked away, and then they just looked at me, didn't say anything, and I walked up the stairs and went to my room, and
Did
got
you
ready.
win?
Yeah, not to do that in like I think the 6th round or 5th round or fourth, something like that.
And he was to get to he was trying to use you to get to the next
Yeah,
level.
well, because I was old, and I get that. It's
Did you know your last couple fights that you was about to retire? Like, man, I already did what I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. Or you wanted to continue?
No. Watch this. Here's my reality. A while back, a few fights before that, I took some time off, and I was contemplating retirement. And I thought, I'll come back I'm like, cause I kind of retired, and I thought, no, I'll make a comeback. So I thought, and so everybody was like, nah, man, maybe you shouldn't do it. I go, I go, you know what I'll do? I'll just come back. I'll try to make a comeback, try to win another title real quick. Just a few fights in a world title. That's all I really want to do. I don't want to fight forever. Just want have maybe 5 or 6 fights, fight for a title, and win, lose or draw, quit, done. Unless I win, because then you make the big money, right?
Yeah.
So then I have one more fight, and then because you got to be true to yourself as a fighter, you can't be saying, "Oh, I'll quit at 5 fights," and you fight 10 more, because then you'll be talking to your mitts when you're old, right? So I said, so finally I go, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'm gonna do. If I can't, if on my comeback trail, if I lose any fight on my comeback trail, I'll quit. And if because if I can't beat them, what makes me think I can be the world champion?
Yeah.
And so it was going good. I think I had 3 or 4 or 5 fights on my comeback trail. I have all wins. That kid I was just talking about, I knocked him out like his fourth, fifth, sixth round, something like that. And then I went back over here I went down to Palm Springs. And what happens is, and you know what? I just tell like it is. The kid wasn't good enough to beat me. That day he was, but he's not good enough to beat me. He was a fresh kid, trying to make it. And I was the old guy, the old veteran, trying to do one more thing. And then they called me. I was up in Auburn training. Everything was going good. All the sparring was going good. My timing was there. My weight was coming down. Everything was happening because I still had to lose weight even at 140. I still had to lose a lot of weight. So so my weight was coming down, and that was, to me, that's my most important thing is how much weight I lose at certain times, and how much time I have to lose that weight. That's really important to me, because that's how I conduct my diet. And so I was like 10 days out, 2 weeks out, about approximately 2 weeks out. I don't remember the exact time anymore, but anyways, about 2 weeks out, the promoter in Palm Springs, in that area, it wasn't in Palm Springs. It was at that casino they do the boxing now, just outside of Palm Springs, Indio, California, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
it was,
a desert.
Yeah, and it was one of their first fights in a new casino at the time. Now they have fights there all the time. Now, but this is what, 20 years ago, 20, 30 years, 34 years ago. So it was a new casino, and they said, "Hey, man, we want you down here for the press and get all this stuff, because it's going to be on TV. We want everybody, we want to to advertise it out." And my dad calls me, because that's what the promoter called my dad, and he said, "We need guys to have you out here." I told my dad, my dad says, hey, mijo, they want us to go down there. I go, "Dad, I don't think we should go, man, because I'm old. They're not going to give me what I need to have. They're not going to, they're trying to get me beat." I go, "I just came off a good win." I go, if I'm in shape, I can do it. If I don't get the right training, it may not happen. I'm old." And then he goes, "No, well, they want us." And so we kind of argued a little bit. And then, but he's a manager. So he said, "Let's go." We went. And I like I told him, I go, "Dad, they're not going to give me anything. What the contract, here's what the contract says, but then this is what happens. So
they didn't abide by the contract.
They never do. And
Really?
legally, I could have left and not fought, but I'll get that in a minute. But anyways, so we go, and sure enough, I don't remember the time, but it was early afternoon. Let's say 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We land in or LA, or the LA airport closest to Palm Springs, whatever the one that was. And we land, let's say at 1 o'clock. We never got picked up from the airport. They kept saying they were coming. We're coming. Finally, at 1 o'clock in the morning, I think we took off about 1 and to our airport, from the airport to our hotel. We get to Palm Springs or Indio, California, wherever it's at, and then we get to our room. We have trouble getting in. And that's pretty much 3:30. By the time I actually 3:30, 4 o'clock before I even get to sleep.
In the morning.
So there goes my first day of training. There goes my first couple of days of it's throwing you off.
Yeah.
Because when you train like that.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, watch this. I mean, and I don't expect everybody to understand this, but when you put your body in that good a shape, your body, God gave you a machine. He really did. And that machine will do damn near everything you tell it to do within reason. It ain't gonna jump a building a single bound. You ain't Superman. But if you want to lose some weight, if you really want to do this, if you put your mind to it and you put the effort into doing it, you can do anything you want. Yeah, like I truly believe that. You can do anything that you want to do if you mentally believe that. I believe it. You can't tell me no. I'm that kid from South Sacramento. Where? South Sacramento that won 3 world titles. Who in the hell does that? Because I told myself I can do it. Because here's that stupid thing where you say you got to think it, envision it, see yourself winning a world title. And I did all that. It sounds stupid and funny, but I honestly really did.
That's what the Bible says too.
It's true. And then I remember, as a contender, going, man, I'm going to win that belt someday. I'm going to do everything I need to do to win that belt. And so that's what I did. And then you got to put in the effort, put in the work, and then succeed in the plan. And that's exactly what I did. And at the time, I'm not out there because, oh man, that's BS. Oh man, no, it's not. Because at the time I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I had to do it, and I did it. But now after it's all done and over with, I look back and I'm going, that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Yeah. I thought it in my head. I seen myself doing it, winning titles. I worked my ass off for it, and I did it. I go, so that's that. If you want to be successful at anything,
wait a minute.
That's what you got to do.
Let's back up. I understand that. So you get to Indio, California, and you told your dad they wasn't going to give you the contract. So I didn't even know about that. So whatever they put on paper, a 4-corner contract, they don't always abide by that.
Well,
you're talking about the promoters, right?
Watch, man. I'm not one to cry. I'm not a crybaby, man. You know what? There's a lot of crybabies out there, and I'm not one of them. And besides, you know what, man? I was old. It wasn't worth it to me. Am I disappointed? Of course, and I've been disappointed for 24 years now. But there's nothing I can do that's ever going to change that because it is what it is. I'm a realist. I don't play games. That's reality. Says nothing's ever going to happen about it, so I'm not going to really worry about it. It happened. It's a story, and I can tell it. And I'm not mad about it. I was kind of mad about it for a while. Not really mad, but just kind of disappointed. That I really didn't get to finish what I started. It's like the Chavez fight.
So wait, did it ever happen? The fight down there?
Yeah, I lost. That was my last fight
because they threw you up. It was a strategy,
dude. No, watch this. But see, because I never made the weight. Watch. Forget about the weight. We get there. We argued for like I said, me and my dad argued for a few days, and then and well, he's my dad, so I can't really argue too much. But my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had discussions for a few days, and finally I lost and just said, "Screw it, let's go." It is good. It's going to be what it's going to be. So about 7 days now, about 9 days out, we go down there. So, like I said, we get to the airport about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't get to the hotel about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't get up early to go run like I'm supposed to. And our driver never showed up. Looking for the gym. To this day, I never trained in a boxing gym. I went to 24-hour fitness in Palm Springs to go jump rope and shadow box. That's all I can do for 9 days. So no, we never had a gym. And in that contract, it states that you have to provide this fighter with everything that he needs to get ready for that fight. Well, I never see to this day, I never see my driver. I don't know what he looks like, and because you're old and they want that name. They want to say, I beat Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Yeah.
That actuality, he beat me, but he didn't beat Tony the Tiger Lopez. Tony the Tiger Lopez would beat his ass.
They set it up for you to lose.
Oh yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah. And then I kept telling my dad, man, we should go home, dude. We should go home. I go, it's in the contract. They have to pay us anyway. They have to pay you anyway. If they don't supply you with what the contract says, they got to pay you anyways. And so I go, they got to pay us anyways. And if they want to do a fight again, we'll find them again later. They have to pay me again. I don't care. And so my dad said, no, let's just hang out for another day. And so finally, about 2 days prior to the weigh-in, so 3 days before the fight, my dad says, you know what, you look like shit, pretty much. He goes, man, and then your weight's so high, because I know my body. I know what I have to do to lose the weight, and I knew that I was screwed. It wasn't going to happen. And so I go, but you've for me mentally, I was so tired of working out. I was so tired of dieting. I was so tired of starving myself. I'm going, no, Dad. I go, I can make it. I'll do it. I'll figure out a way. And I'll get it done. I go, let's just get this fight over with. I was done with it, you know. And then, so the weigh-in, the day of the weigh-in came, which is actually the day before the fight. I was like 3 pounds heavy, and then so I went to the sauna, sweated for like hours. I remember how 3, 4 hours. Came back, made weight, and then but I had nothing left. That sauna kills you. You know, if you're in the sauna so
Yeah.
much, it kills you. And I remember I remember going to the fight. I had absolutely, and I knew mentally, I knew it. I had zero to offer. I had nothing to offer. I didn't feel good. My mind wasn't in it. My body wasn't in it. I just
You
wasn't
knew
in it.
walking in that
Oh
room.
yeah, I knew way before. I knew before the weigh-ins. Like when my dad said, you know, that when I wanted to leave, I wanted to leave because I didn't stand a chance. I was done. You know.
But you didn't want to tell your dad that.
No, and then you know sometimes your pride sticks in your head. You know, you're like oh, because you know in different times in different situations, maybe not that kind of situation, but in different times of my career when I was younger, I said yeah I can do it, and I went out and I did it.
Yeah.
You know, but now I was a week away from my 36th birthday, and I can't do it anymore. You know, and so I mean I got hit with a punch. I thought he was going to come up. I was just out of it, dude. And I got I was
Hey.
bobbing and weaving. I bobbed right into a left hook, and it dropped me. But you know, like I always get dropped, and it's not always, but I got dropped a few times in my career, and I just like okay, time to get up and start working.
Yeah.
I got up. The referees looked at me, and just said, "That's enough."
The first time you got dropped?
Yeah, wait. This is a great story. Watch this, and this is all 100% true. I ain't got to bullshit nobody, but this is all true. Watch this. So I never argue when they stop a fight. Okay, you won't say stop it. There's stop it. There's no need to argue. You know,
Yeah.
don't make yourself look foolish. So he stops the fight. I go to my corner. They're announcing the winner. We're going back to my dressing room. Well, back then they didn't have dressing rooms because it was a new casino. So we have a really nice motorhome, big old motorhome that is our changing area, right? So I went out to my motorhome, and this is the crazy part, and I really felt this way. I remember thinking this. I'm walking back to my trailer. Normally, even for 10 round fights that was a 10 rounder, and even if 10 round fights like that, you have a train of people behind you. You have 40, 50, 100 people just following you back
Yeah.
everywhere, you know. And this time I'm all by myself.
Walking back.
I'm walking back by myself. This is no lie. This is honest to God truth. I'm walking back and I'm by myself. And I'm thinking, wow, this is how it ends, huh? Because I knew, like I told myself on my comeback, I said, if I can't win win all my fights to a title fight, then I'll retire. Because if I can't beat one of those guys, how the hell am I going to be a champion?
Yeah.
You know, so I said the first time I lose, if before a title fight, I'll quit. You got to be true to yourself. So, you know, I'm walking back and I'm all alone. I'm thinking, man, this is how it ends, huh? And so I walk out the door. I'm going to my trailer. I open the door to my trailer. I go in. The door opens up, and then I go in. I sit down right there. But there's a little table right next to the door inside the trailer. So it's a motorhome actually. So I go inside there and I sit down. And I'm just sitting there. And I'm still in my boxing stuff. I have my. I was the. Oh yeah. Did you know I was the guy that started that Mexican American flag stuff? You know the flag shorts.
Yeah.
I was the first guy to start that.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting down. I have my shorts on. I still have my robe on. I'm just sitting there. I'm just thinking, man, this is it. You know, I told myself I'll quit. So I got to quit. So then all of a sudden there's at my trailer door on the motorhome. I'm going, come on in. They didn't come in. Come on in. So I open the door, and some guy walks in. He goes, hey Tony. He goes, how you doing? How you feeling? I go, I feel off. No, I'm sorry. Before that guy. The other guy walks in, knocks on the door, walks in. It's a referee. He goes, hey, Tony. He goes, how you feeling? I go, man, I'm good, man. He goes, yeah, I kind of figured you would be. Then why'd you stop the fight? You know? And he just broke it down to me, bro. He goes, look, Tony. And it's like everybody knew my birthday. It was going to be that following weekend. I was going to be 36. And so, and I never announced it to nobody, but everybody knows. I'm old. I know that. And so he goes, look, Tony, you're gonna be 36 next week. He goes, my daughter was 3 years old, I believe. I think she was three, Tatiana. So she was three, and then she goes, you have a 3-year-old daughter. He goes, man, he goes, you know what? Just enjoy your daughter. He goes, I know you're mad at me now. He goes, and I'm willing to accept that. He goes, look, he goes, a lot of us referees talk. He goes, and we all like you. He goes, you're a good, clean fighter. You don't pull no punches. You're a good guy, and we all like you. He goes, watch. He goes, if I'm the referee, he goes, you're at that age where you're going to get hurt. And he goes, you could have probably beat this guy. He goes, I'll tell you what, you probably would have got up and probably beat this guy. He goes, but if I'm the third man in the ring, he goes, at your age, I'm not going to give you that chance because you could get hurt. He goes, I don't want to be that third guy in the ring when you get hurt. He goes, that'd be someone else. And I go, okay, I know, I get it, man. I was going to retire anyways, you know. I told myself that, and he goes, well, I hope you do. And he goes, and he just starts saying, just get your money that you have, what you have left of your boxing career. He goes, man, open up a business and live life. And I go, yeah. He goes. I go, yeah. Probably that's what I'm probably gonna do. Just open up a business and see what happens, And he goes, yeah. He goes, well, good luck to you, And he walks out. And so he walks out. There must have been someone waiting because he walks out. Another guy walks in. More people that walk me back from the ring. So this guy goes, hey man, he goes, so you're gonna retire? What are you gonna do?
Who was it?
I don't know. Wait, well, let me tell you something. I go, yeah. I'm done. I go, this is it. He goes, hey man, I'll buy them shorts from you. I go, no man, you can have them, bro. I go, I'm done. And he goes, no. He goes, I want to buy them. So we argued. I go, no, dude, I'll give them to you. I'm not gonna fight him. I promise you, I'm retiring. And he goes, no man, I want to buy them from you. I go, phew. He goes, how much you want from him? I go, what? I don't remember what I said, $3,000 or $5,000, and they only cost not $150 to make, But he kind of pissed me off. So because I was trying to give him to him, and we were learning. So I go, let's say I said 3,000. I said, give me $3,000. He goes, all right. All of a sudden, this fool pulls in his pocket, pulls out a wad of hundreds. I mean, a wad. And I'm going, and then I like a dumb. I'm going, nah, man. I'm just kidding, bro. I go, I'll give them to you, man. I'm done. I go,
Yeah.
He goes, no, Miss Lopez. He goes, you don't understand. He goes, I'm from the New York Boxing Hall of Fame, and one day these shorts will be they're going to be in the museum. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, my job. He goes, I've been following you on your whole comeback career. He goes, the last 5 or 6 fights, whatever it was. He goes, I've been coming every time to every one of your fights. And he goes, the time I think you're going to retire is that's why I'm here now. He goes, so my job is to pay for your shorts. So I go, well, then give me 10. He goes, no, you already said 3 or 3 or whatever I said. So give me the 3,000. And I go, he goes, I go, will they ever be in the museum? Or he goes, well, let's put it this way. He goes, one day at some point in time, these shorts will be with your picture in the New York Boxing Hall of Fame.
Are they there?
I don't know. I never went back there. So I go, okay, cool. And so, he takes off, he leaves, and that was it, man. But you know what? It's kind of like it was kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of like a dose of reality, man. That, okay. At least
I've never heard
right?
no one tell a story about their last fight because, that was your life. And for you to sit here and speak it, you just walked me through a whole picture right now. You know what I mean? Like you was walking that's like a movie. The way you just explained that, I could just see it as a picture. Coming out the ring, used to having Rose's husband in back of you, your dad, your family, your trainers, your managers walking back, and you was by yourself.
Yeah, that's like it's a lonely walk, man. It really was, but it's a reality walk. You know what? You know what, man? It was a dose of reality, and you know what? I'm not mad. It is what it is. But watch, to all you fighters out there, young ones that are inspired or whatever, or you're trying to make it to the next level. Let me tell you something. If make a plan, make an exit plan. You see too many fighters end up with no money. You see too many fighters broke out in the street. You see too many fighters doing stupid stuff. Now watch this. Let me help you out a little bit. Figure out your exit plan. I'm not saying save all your money. Well, today, I mean, you make so much money today that, you can pretty much do what you want. Just get someone that knows how to manage your money. Anyways, your exit plan for boxing. On your exit plan for boxing, keep it in mind. Mark that day way beforehand. Give yourself a situation like in mind. If I can't win, if I lose a fight before my next title fight, I'll retire because I was at that age, and uh, and I kept true to myself. I know fighters that had half the fights I had, half the wars I had, and can't say two words.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to talk to them because I remember these guys when we were fighting, we used to all hang out, other champions, and we were all hanging out, and we all talk normal, and now they're talking, they can't say two words, and you got to pay really close attention to understand what they're saying, and you're going, the hell did you just say? It's kind of sad. So make yourself an exit point and be true to yourself, because if you lie to yourself, you're going to end up like them, like the ones that can't say two words. And be true to yourself when you say, okay, if this happens and I don't win, I'll retire, or I'm at the age and give me 3 more fights and I'll retire. Well, if you say that and think it, believe it and do it, because if not, you're going to get hurt. This is a sport that people get jacked up, and it's not hopscotch. You know what I mean?
You have so I watched your career. I knew you before your career, but do you have any regrets? Any?
Yeah.
What?
The Chavez fight. No, I'm serious.
I know.
I know, but watch, and if Julio Cesar Chavez, if anybody knows you or talks to you, tell, hey man, let's do what are they doing now?
Exhibition.
Let's do an exhibition fight, vato. Let's do it. You know why, man? Because watch,
Wait, what's the regret first?
I didn't get to do what I went to do.
So your regret
they
is
never gave me
to
the
your brother, or your regret is what's your regret?
My regret is that I never got to go to 12 rounds. They stopped it on a stupid two stitches to close my eye. Dude, it wasn't.
And you was cut way worse than that.
Dude, I had 19 over here, 20 over here.
And you was never hurt during that fight.
Never bothered me. He didn't hit hard enough to bother me.
And the ref didn't even get in the ring when he stopped it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor.
The doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor.
He stood
They
up.
knew they was gonna stop.
Yeah, they knew they were doing it. Man, it's just, and you know what? But here's for all the young fighters, if you get in a world title fight and you got to go to another country, or any kind of title fight, or any kind of fight, and you got to go to another country, and they're asking you, hey, well, how you gonna do? What are you gonna do in this fight? Don't tell them. Don't tell them anything, because what I said was,
you was clown.
No, I was serious. I said, hey, look, I'm not a boxer. Never have been a boxer. Never want to be a boxer. My brother's a boxer. I'm not. But my brother taught me to box, and so I actually did a pretty good job. I was actually kind of proud of myself. It wasn't bad
it
job.
Works a little bit.
Yeah, it does work. And so, I boxed for 10 rounds. But when I went down there and told him, I said, look, I'm going to box for 10 rounds, and I'm knocking you out in the last 2. I go to world championship rounds, and you're getting knocked out. 2 days before the fight, he's talking all this smack wrong, and I speak Spanish, so I'm saying it in English because most people are English. But we're on Mexican TV in Mexico, and he's I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Shut up. and so he's talking all this smack. He's talking, and then it's my turn. I just said, hey, I've been sick because I was there for a couple of months, and I have family in Mexico, so I was there visiting them in Mexico City. And they're morquechos, got some morquechos. And so, anyways, there's, we're talking all this stuff, and
you're exposing your hand the whole time you're down.
Well, because I didn't, I never thought, okay, there's a lot of stuff. Here's where you get the inside of boxing, man. And it was crazy. And I can talk smack because I've seen it happen. I watched it. I'm sitting there going, wow, it's really going to go that way. And you kind of knew that before the fight was happening, because watch this. Because at the weigh-ins, right? We go to the weigh-ins, and to this day, I promise you, I have no idea what Chavez weighed. No.
They didn't announce it.
No. I was there at the weigh-ins, but I don't know how much he weighed.
Nobody did.
I don't think he even knew.
Yeah.
But I know he was way over.
Yeah.
And so, because you had Trinidad, Obakar, you had all these great fighters on the card. It was a Don King card. Don King's got 3-4 world championship fights on each card. Mm-hmm. And so you have all these top contenders and world champions there, and we're all waiting to get in there because Chavez is late. Now, when you're late for a weigh-in for a big fight like that, you get fined, and it's a heavy fine. And ask me if they fined him. Nope. Anyways, And he was hours late, and we were pissed
Yeah.
because everybody's hungry. They starved themselves to make this weight. So Chavez finally comes in. He gets on the scale. The scale goes poof, goes straight up. It was remember the old school scales that you just move the thing over. That's they went poof and straight up, and so he was way over. And so he just stepped on. It went up. He got off real fast and went and took off. He was gone for another few hours, and everybody's bitching. All the fighters are pissed. We're
You
all
guys can't leave.
no. We're at the weigh-ins. Where are we gonna go? We got to fight. And so and they're not letting anybody get on the scale until Chavez comes back. And so we're all pissed, and everybody's already worked up. They're already all pissed off. So he finally comes back. I don't remember, maybe a couple hours this time. Wasn't that long. Well, not as long as the first time, anyways. So he comes back. He gets on the scale. The scale doesn't move up as fast, but it does start to move up. So and it's not real slow, but it's not real fast. It didn't do that. The first time it went straight up. This time it was kind of going like this. So it was still going up, and then they jumped off. And they yelled out 140. And then so my dad and everybody starts yelling, bullshit. He went at 140.
Yeah.
And everybody said, get his ass back on it. And he got off the scale. He left. He didn't stay for anything. He never returned. He just left. And everybody's going, no, get his ass back on the scale, BS and all this. And everybody's arguing. And there's newspapers from all over the world. And everybody's snapping pictures and doing this. And as Chavez was leaving, my dad was in front of me. I was talking here. We were talking. And then Chavez was over here trying to walk through us, right? And so I told my dad, I really don't give a shit what he weighs. It doesn't matter at this point. I'm ready to kick his ass.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's on and cracking. I'm ready. And so my dad's trying to tell me, yeah, but that's not the point. Blah blah blah. And so my dad and Jose Suleiman, the WBC chair, the guy, the president, was getting ready to get into a fist fight. Dude, it was crazy.
Funny.
It was crazy.
Funny.
So my dad's talking smack. Jose Suleiman's talking smack. Dude, it was great. It was awesome. And
I wonder if there's any footage anywhere.
I don't. Well, you had a million freaking cameras there, so I'm sure there's footage somewhere. And so they're holding my dad back, and they're holding Jose Suleiman back. And now me and my dad are talking. And this is after all that happened. And Chavez was getting walking by, and he goes, and he says he goes, move, but in Spanish, muévete, like in Spanish. So my dad grabs him by the arm, and pushes him right through, right?
Yeah.
And he like pushed him, and Chavez turned back like he was going to do something. So when he did that, my reaction was just to sock him. So he seen me load up, and he looked at me. I looked at him. I go, ándale, cabrón. I go, sígale, güey. You know what I mean? It's like go ahead, do it, do it, try it, And then so he looks at me. I look at him. And I'm like, fuck, I'm ready. I'm ready now. And so he turns around. He just leaves. He takes off. And all this stuff is going on at the press conference, and so then we go to the press conference over. We go home, we eat, we do all that stuff, and the next day's the fight, right? So the next day we're getting ready. We get ready, we're doing all our stuff, and we get in the ring, and the whole thing is it's normal, it's just normal. And a friend of mine who passed away, his name was Big Will. He's from Oakland, right? And
was he there?
Yeah. We took him there, and so and because he brought the girls that was supposed to sing the national anthem, right? And when you go to someone else's country, they do what they want to do, right? And so he said that, man, they made a really tight national anthem that it sounded really, really, really good. I never got to hear it. And so I'm going, okay. I go, yeah, bring him. And then because I trusted Will, so he brings them. He takes them to the audition because they wanted to see what they were like in Mexico. They want to see what you sound like. Well, they did the Mexican one, and they said, okay, we'll accept that. They did the American one. He said it was so freaking tight that even the Freddie Pacheco, Dr. Freddie Pacheco, back because he was there for the fight. Dr. Freddie Pacheco was trying to sing the anthem. He goes, when they got done, he says Freddie Pacheco told Big Will, he goes, man, that gave me chills. And I never got to hear it, and they denied him.
They didn't let him.
They denied him. They did because it outshined theirs.
Yeah.
And he goes, man. He goes, it was nice. He goes, dude, that was the nicest version he's ever heard.
Rest in peace, Big Will.
Right. And then so all that happened. They didn't let him do the national for our American national anthem. They put on it sounded like an old record player.
A song.
yeah, the national anthem, but like it had the needle on it, like you put a
Yeah.
needle
Oh,
on the
you could
record.
hear the
Yeah,
scratching and shit.
it sounded just like that. I'm thinking, wow, that's jacked up. Anyways, so we get in there, and then the second round, and you can watch the fights on YouTube. I get a small cut, and it was a cut after the bell rings, ding, and then he goes, and then he hits me in my eye, and he puts a small 2-stitch cut under my eye, and then I'm no big deal. I don't really give a shit.
Was there
So
blood going in your eye?
no, never. It's on. You watch the fight on YouTube. I never had a
No,
problem
I've seen
with
it.
it. Never had a problem with it. So so I stuck to my plan, boxing for 10 rounds, and so everything's going good. It's going real smooth, dude. I tell you, I trained so hard for this fight. 10th round, I was fresh as a daisy. It was like I was first walking out for the first round. I wasn't winded at all. I felt like I didn't do anything, because I'm boxing. I'm not fighting. I'm boxing, so it's easy.
It ain't a war. You're boxing.
Yeah, I'm not hurt. I'm not nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
And so, but it's the 10th round. Now remember the 11th and 12th round, he's getting his ass kicked, and I'm telling you, I was gonna beat his ass.
Yeah.
And so the referee comes back. The bell rings to start the 10th round. I don't remember. It seemed like 30 seconds, but maybe a minute into the round, the referee looks at me and says, like, "Come here." I'm going, and I had no idea. I'm really like, what? Like, the hell are you talking about? He, grabs me, takes me to the doctor, and he tells the doctor, "Look at my eye." Now, mind you, the ring's about what, 4 feet, 3.5 feet off the ground, and then I'm 5'7", so you figure
8 feet,
8-9 feet off the ground. The doctor's he's Mexican, so he's what, 5'4"? No, he's something like maybe 5'7", but he ain't too tall. And he stands up, looks up, and he goes, "Oh no, ya se acabó," which means, "Oh no, it's over, it's over." And I go, "It's not even getting my eye. Nothing's going on." I go, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "I'll tell you what." I told the doctor, I go, "Let me finish this round. If I don't knock him out this round, you can stop the fight, and I'll never say a word about it." He goes, "I'll never say another word about it." And he goes, No, ya se acabó, ya se acabó. And I thought, man, and
they knew your plan.
Yeah, I told it to him.
Yeah,
me and my one time, if I had to have it to shut up, that would be the time of my life. I should have just shut the hell up. You know what? But that's boxing, and that's just the way. But watch, was I mad? A little bit. You know what cured me? The check cash. What do I care? It's because I mean, that's what I'm doing it for, right? I'm not really. It makes you famous.
So wait. Oh yeah, you're right. So wait.
But I'm doing it for the money.
Do you think if Sal, your brother, didn't train you, or he didn't tell you let's box 10 rounds, that you would have beat him before the 10th round?
I don't know. Now, that's okay. That's a kicker. That's a whole nother. Watch this.
Know.
Because I was moving around, he never really got a chance to hit me. But even the things that he did hit me with didn't hurt. I mean, I've been hit a lot harder. Shit, Tim Brooks from Sacramento hit harder than that.
So the myth about him hitting so hard has to have been from people that couldn't take punch or hasn't taken as much hard punches as you have. Because I've heard people, not actual boxers, but on TV, I heard people, he hits hard. He got bricks in his hands. And I heard that about Roberto Duran too.
Yeah.
But hearing it from you is like, it's like you believe what you're saying. He didn't hit me hard. I've been hit harder than that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? I think that all has to do with training. If you really want to know and I've talked about this because I train fighters.
You want them to get hit hard in training. So
you don't want them to get hit hard in training, but watch this. If we need sparring and he weighs 150 and we got to spar with someone 185, 190, okay, let's do it. They're going to hit harder. They're going to be a little bit bigger. If they intimidate you, maybe you're in the wrong business, buddy. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Watch. I always try to spar my people up. Why would you want to spar with someone just as good as you? You're not learning nothing.
Yeah.
Why would you? Well, okay. If you need to help somebody that's coming up, okay, take it real easy. Don't hurt them at all. Work with them and let them come on. And that's how you help people. For me, my trainers always had me sparring up. I never sparred equally or down. I always sparred up. Even even like in the gym, I always spar with guys. I like Tim Brooks. Tim Brooks was a monster.
He's a heavyweight on.
No. He was from Sacramento. He was. I fought Tim Brooks twice, and he weighed the same as me, but he was a big, strong guy. Well, I was real skinny, but he had like little legs, but he was stronger than shit, and he had heavy hands, and so or like sometimes like for title fights, I start off guys weighing 200, 210, sparring with those guys, and those guys are slow, but they hit hard. But you know what? To me, everybody hits hard. Even the guy who weighs 100 pounds hits hard. You know what I mean? So, but after that, you'll get through that. You get over at that time in the game. Once you're a champion, by that time, you've been hit hard. You've been dazed a million times in the gym. I've been more dazed in the gym than I ever have in a fight. I've seen more stars in the gym than I ever have in a fight. Because in the gym, you're practicing. You haven't perfected anything. So you're practicing that, and you get caught practicing. So you get beat up more in the gym than you ever will in the ring. But and I've been hit, I spar with everybody. So I you just get used to getting hit hard. So getting hit hard to me is no big deal. But it's what I did. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm some bad. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's like if you get up at 3:00 in the morning to go to work every day, guess what? I bet you it's real easy for you to get up at 3:00 in the morning. You don't think nothing of it. Try to wake me up at 3:00 in the morning. Shit, I'm throwing pillows and shit. I ain't waking up for nothing. But so it's the same thing.
You're used to it.
You're used to it. Yeah.
You practice it so much.
I get hit every day for a living. So guess what? Getting hit is no big deal.
All right. Not to cut you off or change.
You just cut me off. I'm trying to change subject. No, yeah, you are.
Something else to talk about.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to be clown right now. Damn, your brother wrote his name real small right there.
He did?
Anyways, sex trafficking.
Ooh.
It's a big deal in the world, especially in California.
Why?
You had asked me to go watch this movie 3 times already.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working all weekend. I haven't seen it. However, I sent my son and this girl to see it for me. And he told me a little bit about it. But okay, our new sheriff now is Jim Cooper.
Yep.
And he's like pressing the issue in Sacramento about sex trafficking. He's like trying to give people as much time as they deserve for doing that.
And they should.
There's a movie now, and you went and seen it. You and Kathy went and seen it, and she's been on me. You should see how many texts she texted me. Remind Tony to talk about this movie. Let's talk about it.
Okay. What's the name of the movie?
Freedom.
I know. Something Freedom.
Wait.
I had it written down because I know it's
I know it's written down somewhere. Oh man.
Something Freedom.
It's on the front of that, ain't it? Didn't we write that down?
Freedom. Sounds of Freedom.
Sounds of Freedom.
Let's talk about it. So I want to. Okay, before we talk about the movie,
no, let me. Oh, I don't want to shut you up, but hold on with your thought because I got something for that.
All right.
Okay, watch. The reason why, well, because they're kids, number one, and most of them are kids. They're not all kids. Some are young adults, but most of them could be kids. They could be up to 3, 2-year-old. They'll take them.
Babies.
If you leave your kid in a bassinet, they'll take that motherfucker. I mean, they really do.
And
watch this.
Use the baby. Wait. See, I don't want to be. See, this is
I don't
a
know
real
what,
sore subject.
No. I don't know what they do with them. Well, watch this. They groom them. Because the kids don't think they're doing nothing wrong. I mean,
because they're young and
because they're so young that they grew up. That's what they learned. That's all they know. And there's adult men and women that'll do that. I'm thinking there's got to be something wrong with you. Anyways, watch this. So one time, my daughter wanted to go to with her friend to San Francisco. And my daughter's 28 now. So this is when she was like maybe 15, 16, 17. And you want to give your kid freedom to a point. I'm that guy. I'll give my kid freedom to a point. And see, I've been a bounty hunter for 24 years. So, and I try to find people that are trying to really hide, and I when I first got into the business, I lost about $400,000, close to $500,000, almost to the penny, to be real. The first 2 years of the Bell Bonds Company business. And after that, I told my wife, she's going, we're shooting right through all that money. You better.
That many people run?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's you get a lot of runners. And so, She says, we're losing a lot of our money. You better start finding these fools. So I told myself, okay. I made a promise to myself at that time. To myself, I said, I'm not gonna lose anymore. Nobody else. I go. I'm gonna learn how to find these fools. And I'm gonna start finding them. And then, because I didn't know when I opened the business, I didn't know how to chase down skips. I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do it. And then so, I went with other bounty hunters. I got the other bounty hunters, started helping them do their stuff. Started watching how they did on the computer. You can find almost anybody on the computer. It's amazing what they have out there. Watch this. Watch this. No matter what you're doing, where you're at, how you talk, where you from, it doesn't matter. They can find you. Watch this. I made a statement one time. Well, no. Watch. There's that statement that said, it's been out there for years. They'll find someone in the graveyard. They found some. Who's that? Who's Saddam Hussein?
Yeah.
Where was he at? In like a makeshift grave.
Yeah.
They found his ass. You know why? Because they can see him. Hey man, hey, watch this. I learned so much about what we have as a country in the United States that
Technology.
and this is years ago, dude. Can you imagine the technology they have today? Back then, and this is mid '90s, early '90s, mid '90s. I'm telling you, man, we have so much stuff. They can today. They show you on TV. Watch the news. Let there be a bank robbery. They show a guy running out of the bank, jumping in the car, turning left at the light, and then 2 blocks down, they see him turning left at another street, and then turning right at another street, and then turning.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're able to show all that stuff? Because they're watching you. They can see you.
Everything.
How can you not pay that much attention or forget that they go? What criminals gonna go? Oh, they'll never see us. Shut up. Just watch the news on TV. Watch a crime happen. Watch how they follow the car. Watch how they get the license plate. The license plate readers. They don't care how fast you're going. It doesn't care. It looks like stand still, like they stood right in front of the license plate. Went click. That's how good them cameras are.
Sex trafficking.
Now we got to get back to that. Well, let me finish my story.
Yeah.
So one day my daughter goes, Dad, I want to go to San Francisco with so and so and some of her friends. And I'm going, and this is years ago because she's 28 now, and she was about 12 years old, 12, 13 years old, and she wanted to go to San Francisco with her friends, and they're some older kids and stuff. And I go, they go, well, there's a bus in Old Sacramento that takes you and it's cheaper than this and that. And I'm going, I don't know, but you want to give her freedom, but you just gonna go, I don't know, because I'm speaking as a parent. And so I go, all right. I said, but you call me if anything happens. You call me. You make sure you know what street you're on, where you're at. You're going north, southwest. You let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you write that shit down if you have to. You let me know exactly where you're at. And then so we take her down to Old Sacramento. They used to have at Old Sacramento in downtown Sacramento. They had a bus it was a cheap bus that took them straight to San Francisco and back. And I don't remember what the bus is called. And so I take her to the bus stop. Her and her friends, they're all getting ready to leave. And also I'm looking around and I see these grown men walking these little girls to that bus. And I'm going, okay, look, I ain't stupid. So doesn't anybody else see this shit? Am I the only one looking?
No women, all men.
No, there was a couple women there, but watch. I don't care if it's a white girl, a little white girl, and a big old Mexican man's walking her taking her out of her car, and it just doesn't look right. The way they're acting doesn't look right at all. How anybody doesn't see that shit is beyond me. I looked at it and go, oh shit, what they doing? Oh hell no!
And this is your daughter getting
on this bus. But see, those guys didn't get on the bus. He sent the girls down there to go to work because that's what they were doing. They were the pimps sending little kids down. I'm telling you.
Damn.
And so I called SAC PD, and I let them know. Ask me what they ever did about it. I don't know. I never seen anything happen. You ever hear anything happen? Watch this. Sacramento is a crossroads for child trafficking and shit like that because guess what we have here?
The capital.
No.
What?
We have the freeways.
All
You
of them
watch
right
this.
here.
We have two freeways. I-5 goes to Mexico, all the way out to Canada. Highway 80 is far west as you can go,
Mhm.
and it's all the way down to New York City,
Yeah.
all the way. We're the crossroads. This is in a matter of minutes. You can be out of town in minutes. You can be on the freeway and out of town in minutes. That's crazy. That's not crazy. What's crazy is that, you know, it's crazy that parents don't watch their kids more. That's what's crazy. Uh, you know, there's a few times that you think people are looking at your kid a little weird. Uh, if you see something happening or you think a kid doesn't look comfortable, it doesn't hurt to ask. I talk to parents. I talk to parents because kids look like they're either crying or I mean, if they're getting in trouble or something like that, and it's right there and she's yelling, "Daddy," then probably her dad. You know what I mean? But I mean, common sense. But if she looks uncomfortable and he looks a little nervous, maybe ask a question. What's going on? Especially if it's
So
because
what,
it's that
did your
kind of
daughter
war
get
room.
on that bus?
Oh yeah, she still got on it. But I told her, I said, "You call me." I go because I got the bus's number and the license plate. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and shit, dude. You know me. I've been running 150 miles an hour down the highway. I ain't playing. And anyways, but she was okay. No one ever bothered her. But you have to talk to her about it. And she's going, "Why were you so worried about it and this and that?" She's asking me, and I told her. Why. And at the times, I don't think kids really comprehend to it. So when you talk to your kid about something like that, it's not even age appropriate because all ages appropriate. But you talk to them like you ain't talking sex to a 3-year-old because they're not going to understand it. So you talk to them in what 3-year-olds will understand. That's what I did with my daughter her whole life. I told her stuff what I thought that she would understand it for that time in her life. If the question came up, I answered it, but with what I thought she would understand, and so on and so forth. But this movie, um, it's a trip, and I'm not going to tell you. And so many theaters, I don't know about so many, but there's a lot of theaters not wanting to play it.
Not wanting to
No,
play?
yeah, they don't want to put it on there. They're like the theaters are boycotting this movie. It's been out. They made this movie like 5 years ago, and they just now got it out. Sounds of Freedom. And let me tell you something. You should go see it. You can learn an awful lot. If you love your kids, you can learn an awful lot
think
about.
you know what? I think I'm going to take my daughter to see it as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah, you should. And and let me tell you something. It's a really good movie. It's not like it's a murder mystery. It's not that. But it's a movie. If you're a parent,
It's enlightening you,
dude. It's open. It's wide open, and they're letting you know that, hey man, this shit's real. It's not fake.
is the movie based in L.A., New York? Where is it based at? You know, or
No,
is it out of country?
I don't know. There was film. It could have been,
States?
but you know how they do it. They could have been based here, but
Yeah.
but it was from another country.
Yeah.
But but look at it. We have open borders here in California, so shit. There goes that idea.
Let me ask you this: the age group you said 2-3 years old, they're grooming them. So is this movie take it from babies being groomed for sex? Just give me some kind of. I need some.
Well, it's about it was about a little girl.
Oh, one person.
Yeah, it's about a little girl, but this guy does a lot of stuff, and he runs into a lot. I'm not telling you anymore. But I don't even remember the actor's name. He's not an actor. He's a real. I think he was a CIA agent or something like that. He had something to do like that, and he was. That was his job. And you know what? Let me tell you something. If you're a former bounty hunter or you're a bounty hunter, because I'll tell you what, bounty hunters get a lot of information. You know, we can get a ton of
I found a whole bunch of stuff out about friends we grew up with that I didn't know from
you. You can find you watch. If you're hiding under a rock, give me enough time, I'll find you. It's really that easy. And that's why a lot of people don't get away with a lot of stuff anymore. And if you rob a bank or do something crazy that and you didn't bail out and the cops are looking for you, I promise you they know where you're at. They just don't want you yet. And that's not. And watch that.
So they're letting you get away with it,
pretty much,
because you probably didn't get enough for you to.
I don't know. I have no reason why. Huh? Watch this. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying he is. But here's what I know. I know as a bounty hunter, I'd find your ass. You know what? And watch, we have nothing compared to what they have. Remember, like I was telling you, what they have.
Yeah.
Here, watch this. Here's what we think we know they have, but here's how much they have. It's dude, it's amazing. We have stuff, and I'm going, wow, we can do all this stuff. When I first started, I'm going, wow, this is a trip. We can call this person to get that. We can call this person to get. Wow, it was amazing to me. Can you imagine what they have,
Yeah.
dude? We have nothing compared to what they
A whole
have.
bunch of thoughts going through my mind. I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because
You don't. You won't live that long. You have too much time on. No.
Do you mind me asking you?
Go ahead.
So, would you be comfortable talking about the child trafficking ring you exposed as a bounty hunter?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know what? Good thing you reminded me. So, you know what? Check this out. I don't. It was a long time ago. It was years ago. Like, let's say 15 years ago. We had a group of guys from Sacramento. A guy named Paul and myself and Art. We're all bounty hunting, and uh, we actually did this on accident because there's two houses that look the same, and it was dark time. I think it was like, I don't know, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I don't remember what time it is. And we kicked this door open, and it was the wrong house. But watch this. We kicked this door open, and there's tons of people in this house. And we're looking around. And so we're coming into the front, the back, coming over, breaking windows, coming into the side. I mean, we come in hard. So we come in and we start looking around. We're going, and no one's really pissed. No one's mad. No one's. I mean, you kick open the wrong door. You kick open my door, you're getting shot. And most people, and I admit, most people would have shot, but they were up. They were doing things, and I'm looking around. I'm going, "What the hell is that?" Oh man, they got to wait. And there was black kids, white kids, brown kids. There's a little bit of everything. And I'm looking, and the people just didn't seem. It seemed odd.
They didn't seem surprised.
It was off. No, they were surprised, but it was off. But they weren't mad. They were like, "Oh, like more like don't tell nobody" type of.
Yeah.
And we all and so we all got together. So we told them, "Hey man, look, we kicked open the wrong door, blah." And they're like, "Oh, that's okay." Really? We just tore your house up. Really? And so we're sitting there talking. We're at first we're all separate, so we're not talking yet.
Yeah.
So we get together and we start talking like, "Hey, dude, there's a lot of kids in there, dude. What are they doing? They're not acting like normal people. They're more like, I'm sorry that it happened to you, more than the hell out of my house. And what are you doing? I'm calling the cops."
Yeah.
They're a total opposite of that. And I'm going, man. And they go, "There are a lot of kids here, dude." And so what we did, we went outside, called 911, let them know what we found, and then they came in, arrested everybody for child trafficking.
Oh,
that's what they got for. It was in the papers a few days after that. They were in there for child trafficking.
Did you ever get the guy? Did you ever?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, no, we found the guy.
Was it next door?
No, it wasn't next door, but I don't remember where we found the guy at. But it wasn't next door because I didn't remember
That's
going back
crazy.
there.
You came
But
upon
yeah, and it's just one of those things you hit upon. And it was right here in Sacramento. It was years ago.
You was meant to kick that door in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So we both know I've been to prison. So when we talk about child crimes and stuff like that, it's like when you've done as much time as me, even if you only do 2 or 3 years, that's the first thing you learn in there. We look for people in there for crimes against children because that's our prey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we talk about this subject, it's like I've got a lot of extra time for doing things to people that were there for heinous things against kids or even their own woman. Right. You know what I mean? So I think this movie might I don't know if I can handle that type of shit. You know what I mean? Normal people in society.
It's a tough movie. It's not a tough movie to watch. It's a really good movie to watch and take your kids. No, for real. That it's geared for families to learn from. And it's not gross. It's not mean. It doesn't do that. But it's a movie you can take your kids. You should take your kids. Take the whole damn family. It's not a movie that shows graphic stuff. It's a movie that makes you think like, Oh, damn.
This is
Yeah.
happening right under our noses.
Yeah.
man.
Brings awareness.
Yeah, brings awareness. And you know what? Yeah.
Because I know what happens. Because even in today's music, some of these rappers talk about this shit openly.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about
Well,
it. And
I
I'm
know.
like, some of them are in jail for it, or their brothers are. You know what I mean? And I know I hear it all the time. But what I'm saying is, for me personally, it's like it's a sore subject to even hear that, because in where I was at, it's like that's an automatic kill. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to remove him, beat him up. That's what you try to. You don't want that person, because to be honest with you, you could kill someone right now, and you could go to jail, and I could go rape a kid. I will get out way before you get out, and so we try to make sure they don't never get out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so hearing that, when Kathy texted me and told me about the movie, she was like, "Remind Tony to talk about this movie, Sounds of Freedom." And I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh!" And then my son went and seen it. He's like, "Dad, this movie. I'm not telling you anything. This movie's good. You need to see it."
Yeah.
So it's like 3 or 4 people telling me about it, but I never express how I feel towards these people to anybody. You know what I mean? Because I'm not proud of what I did in prison, but it's just really a sore thing for me to hear about or see that type of stuff. And then I heard, I don't want to put no presidents and their wives out there like that, but I heard one of our presidents was involved in that type of shit. I'm like, our leader of our country? And so all these things are going in my head. I'm like, this shit's really going on in America, from our tops to our bottoms. Well, and no one talks about it.
Here's the best way to explain what goes on in this world. Let's say you have a group of red ants and a group of black ants. You put them in a jar, right? What are they going to do?
Kill each other.
No, they don't.
Not until you shake that shit up.
The first time someone shakes it up, the ants start killing each other.
Yep.
You know who we are? Who are we? We the people, you know who we are? We're the ants. You know who's shaking that jar?
Puppet masters.
Our politicians.
Yep.
They're the ones shaking, they're the ones shaking the jar. It really is. I mean,
they steer us to believe what they want us to see and believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
It's like a game to them.
It is. And if people start opening their eyes instead of going, "Oh, I'm blue," and "Oh, I'm red," "Oh, I'm independent,"
instead of what's right and wrong.
Why don't you vote for the guy that's going to do something for you? Why don't you vote for the guy that's going to do the right thing? Watch. Here, people. Now that we're on this, is real quick. I'm Mexican, but you know what? I'm an American Mexican. So I'm an American first, with a Mexican descent. That's exactly what I am. I speak Spanish. Well, I speak Spanish, and now I have a Mexican citizenship. So I'm an American Mexican. But with me, I'm proud to be Mexican, but I'm an American. When I'm here, I'm an American Mexican. When I'm in Mexico at my house in Mexico, I'm Mexican. And I'm proud to be either one. So I don't know, man. It's just people get so tied up in all this other BS that really doesn't matter. There's more people that know about our politics than we do. There's more. Most of our people just talk a lot of smack, and they're online. They're talking smack. They have no idea what the hell they're even talking about. Why don't you study before you open your mouth? Why don't you? There was a lady in Neighbors the other day said something about, I know what a mayor does. Mayor houses.
I seen it on Nextdoor, and
and
I watch you on Nextdoor, and it's like people get on your nerves. I can tell.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
Yeah,
because they open their mouth, they have no idea what they're talking about. This lady's talking about stuff that's not city. It's with the government, not local government. It's state government.
State.
And so I'm going, and Kathy's the one that told me what to write the first time, because we talked about it. She goes, "No, don't say that." And I'm going, why? I mean, she's making herself look stupid. Why not? Yeah. And so, because I'm that guy,
I know.
And so, but she made me do it right. So we did it right. And then put it in more nicer words, I guess.
Yeah.
And a lot less other stuff I want to put in. Anyways. And then she took it off. It's not on there anymore. She took my response off.
So I follow. Well, I'm like, damn, Tony's on my Nextdoor, and you're very brief for what you say, but you're to the point.
Yeah.
And people in your name is Tony the Tiger Lopez on there. So I think some of these people are either old or too young to even know who you are in Sacramento, because the way they argue with you or respond to your comments is crazy to me. And I know you as a person, so I'm like, Tony wants to reach through this damn phone and grab these people because I could feel your energy in it. You know what I mean? Yeah, next door, I just had an argument with someone over a dog, bro. A Chihuahua dog. This lady says he was attacking me, and I know the owner to this dog. And I'm like, no, lady, the dog don't like women in bright colors. I was playing a joke. Dogs are colorblind. It sent me all these links to show me dogs are colorblind. God. Dogs are not colorblind. I looked it up. They don't see. They see red. I mean, they see blues, yellows, grays, blacks, and whites. They just don't see the red and that spectrum of color. So it's a different color to them. And I looked it up and explained it. And next door gets me more mad by people's stupidity than Instagram or Facebook. Because people are on there, they must be bored all day. Because they talk about the most minute stuff. They're wasting their whole days. And there's a couple names I remember right now. And I went to go did a bit on this guy's tree. And it's like his whole world is on next door.
Really?
And then when I seen you, his first name is Brian.
Anyways,
and I know him. So he's on there all day, and it's like it irks me. But I seen your comment about the political about the mayors, and she took it like mayors got the job of the president. Like she was, and I couldn't believe what
crazy lady.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I felt like writing back. I go, please stay away from the voting booth, idiot.
Time. Can I get the time? Oh, okay. So we got a surprise interview coming up August 3rd. We won't announce it now, but it's someone.
Then it won't be a surprise.
I know, so we're not going to announce.
Okay.
So there's two people, one person flying in from out of state, and we got two friends that we both grew up with that we're going to have on here. So stay tuned for August 3rd. That'll be Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, right? Am I correct? Today's the 23rd, right? 30. Yeah, 2 Sundays from now. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in to 12 Rounds of Adrenaline. Please like, subscribe, and Tony's Cash App is at the bottom of the screen right there. If it's not, how come I can't see the ticker going across? Can you see it on the computer? Oh, my bad. So his Cash App is there. If you guys are supporting this channel, donate him $1. $1 shows your support. Donate him $1 on his Cash App. And we thank you guys. Shout out to Eddie Garnica, Tony the Tiger Plumbing, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.
We also have another guest. We're still working on the schedule. The podcast is called What Men Talk About.
What Men Talk About. He's here now.
He's helping us a lot.
Yeah, he's helping us a lot. And we're gonna combine these podcasts for a day. We're gonna have Tony on his podcast. Or no, we're gonna have you guys as guests, right? Yeah, we're gonna have What Men Talk About as guests on our show. You want to do it next Sunday?
He got to do it either Thursday or Friday.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. We'll keep you guys notified for what.
I'm old. I ain't that old. I still party though.
No, we didn't talk about.
I'm kidding. I'm just talking.
So thank you guys very much for tuning in. 12 Rounds of Adrenaline. Like I said, support. If you can't afford $1, then like and subscribe to the channel. I want to
like and subscribe anyways.
I want to tell you guys something. So we have only 30% of our viewers for our group on 12 Rounds of Adrenaline on Facebook. We only have 30% of that subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we're trying to get all you guys over to the YouTube channel. We need to monetize Tony's channel. So like and subscribe is very important. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.